Kris Jenner's 70th birthday celebration quickly became one of the most talked about events in Hollywood, not only because of its lavish execution, but due to the unexpected conversations that emerged behind the scenes. What was intended to be a grand tribute to the woman who has shaped one of the most influential families in modern entertainment soon revealed itself to be something far more layered, a gathering full of carefully orchestrated optics, subtle emotional undertones, quietly shifting alliances, and whispers of decisions that may impact the Kardashian-Jenner empire for years to come. The night looked flawless from the outside, a breathtaking venue, a guest list curated with precision, and a level of luxury that only Kris Jenner could command. Yet beneath the glittering chandeliers and meticulously designed decor, there were moments that hinted at unspoken tensions, long-buried dynamics resurfacing at the most inconvenient times, and strategic interactions that suggested this birthday was not merely a celebration of reaching a milestone age, but a defining moment in the evolution of the entire family. Every detail, from who arrived first to who deliberately stayed in the background, from the sisters' speeches to the conversations that continued long after the cameras stopped rolling, contributed to a narrative that extended far beyond the festivities. It became clear that this event was a turning point, one that illuminated both the strength of Kris Jenner's legacy and the shifting landscape of the dynasty she spent decades building. But before we begin, please support the channel by subscribing, liking the video, and turning on notifications. Your engagement helps us continue producing long-form investigations, exclusive breakdowns, and deep dive commentary on the most influential figures in entertainment. From the moment the first black SUV approached the gated entrance of the $80 million Bel Air estate, the tone of the evening became unmistakable. This was not simply a birthday party. It was a statement, a declaration of influence, control, and legacy from a woman who built an empire through strategy, intuition, and an almost supernatural ability to turn private moments into global spectacles. The estate chosen for the celebration was more than a venue. It was a carefully selected stage. By hosting the event away from her personal home, Kris avoided any exposure of private renovations, enhanced security additions, and new design elements rumored to be tied to upcoming Hulu productions. Instead, the rented property offered both grandeur and controlled visibility, ideal conditions for an event where image management was as important as the celebration itself. Yet, even in these opening moments, seasoned observers noticed the first hints of tension. Some sisters stayed close together, others kept their distance. Certain guests walked in with confident smiles, while others seemed wary of cameras and carefully avoided particular groups. It was subtle, but enough to spark curiosity. What was really happening beneath the glossy surface of the evening? While the decor and ambiance captivated attendees, the true lightning rod of discussion centered around the guest list. In Hollywood, absence is as loud as presence, and on this night, a few names created more noise by staying away than they ever could have by showing up. Some figures who normally orbit the Kardashian-Jenner universe were nowhere to be seen, and those omissions triggered a wave of speculation that spread across social media within minutes. Although no one realistically expected Kanye West to attend, the sheer lack of acknowledgement, no music, no reference in speeches, no mention in family tributes, felt deliberate. Considering his historical contribution to the family's global relevance, the silence surrounding him was striking. Analysts interpreted this as a sign that the family is drawing a firm line between its past and its next chapter. Noticeably absent were some of Kylie Jenner's closest friends, including personalities who often appear alongside her at events or on social media. The internet immediately jumped to its own conclusions. Was Kylie deliberately distancing her personal life from the Kardashian brand? Was she preparing for a more independent identity? Or did internal disagreements influence the guest list? Perhaps the most talked about absence of the night involved Caitlyn Jenner's sons, who were not seen anywhere near the venue. While the relationship between Kris and Caitlyn has experienced ups and downs over the years, the omission of certain family members raised questions about lingering tension, unresolved issues, or simply the desire to maintain a streamlined, controlled environment. The whispers continued long after the party ended. Each absent guest fueled their own theory, and by morning, the online conversation surrounding who was not invited became as prominent as the glimmering photos of those who attended. The Kardashian Jenner sisters know how to command attention effortlessly. Yet their behavior at the event revealed more about family dynamics than words ever could. Viewers who study body language, fan behavior, and media positioning immediately recognized certain patterns that hinted at subtle shifts within the hierarchy. Kim stood at the center of the celebration, not only physically, but symbolically. Her presence was composed, polished, and commanding, almost as though she were stepping into a role beyond that of the eldest daughter. Her speech, longer and more structured than the others, focused heavily on responsibility, leadership, and legacy. These were not accidental themes. This moment, in the eyes of many observers, marked Kim's unspoken transition into a leadership role within the family. Khloe appeared deeply invested in the evening, often staying close to Kris and engaging warmly with attendees. Her emotional reactions during the tribute video caught attention, sparking conversations about the personal weight she has carried over recent years. Some insiders believe Khloe has become the emotional bridge within the family, the one who maintains cohesion during difficult times. At several points throughout the night, Kourtney kept to a smaller circle, engaging at a distance while maintaining a calm, reflective presence. The lingering tension between her and Kim, though not explicitly addressed, was quietly evident in their physical separation and minimal interaction. Kourtney's evolving desire for independence, reinforced by her focus on family and lifestyle projects, seemed to shape her role during the event. Kylie appeared elegant and composed, but less involved in the central activities. Her arrival later in the evening and her early exit stirred questions about her level of investment in the family brand. Theories circulated that she is positioning herself increasingly as an independent entity in the beauty and fashion industries, preparing for a future where her identity stands apart from the Kardashian legacy. Kendall moved through the evening with grace, but maintained her usual distance from the spotlight. Her preference for privacy, her commitment to modeling, and her long-standing desire to separate her career from reality TV narratives were all evident in her understated presence. Each sister contributed to the event, yet their differences in energy, involvement, and emotional expression told a larger story about where the Kardashian-Jenner dynasty might be heading next. Corey Gamble has been a steady presence in Kris Jenner's life for nearly a decade, often positioned as her calm, grounding counterpart. Yet, during her 70th birthday celebration, his presence unexpectedly became one of the most quietly scrutinized elements of the evening. While Corey is normally comfortable operating in the background, blending into the fabric of the family's dynamic, this particular night brought an unusual level of attention to his interactions, his expressions, and even the subtle shifts in his proximity to the family members. Observers noted that Corey maintained his usual collected composure, but there was something different about the energy surrounding him. At several moments throughout the evening, he appeared slightly removed from the flow of conversation, engaged, yet cautiously so. Guests familiar with the Kardashian-Jenner circle whispered about recent rumors circulating in the entertainment community, pointing to alleged disagreements over business decisions travel plans, or long-term commitments that Kris might have been reevaluating ahead of her milestone year. If Kylie floated through the party with effortless confidence and Kim maintained her introspective composure, Kendall Jenner brought something entirely different to Kris's 70th birthday. An energy that was both enigmatic and undeniably telling. From the moment she arrived, Kendall carried an air of emotional distance, almost as though she were moving through the event with a private narrative unfolding beneath the surface. Observers quickly picked up on the subtle signs. Kendall wasn't withdrawn or unfriendly. She simply seemed preoccupied, offering warm hugs and polite exchanges, yet carrying a contemplative expression that didn't quite match the celebratory mood of the night. Her interactions with her siblings were cordial but brief, and she appeared to seek pockets of solitude between conversations, often stepping aside to check her phone or stare thoughtfully into the venue's candlelit decor. Kris Jenner is not only a mother and a matriarch, she is the architect of an empire, a strategist who understands the art of timing better than almost anyone in Hollywood. So when whispers began circulating that she might use her 70th birthday to hint at future business ventures, the room sharpened its attention. If there was one thing people expected from Kris, it was the unexpected, and she delivered precisely that. Subtle but impactful revelations that instantly altered the tone of the celebration. After the series of emotional and humorous speeches, Kris took a moment to address her guests more directly. She spoke with warmth and gratitude, acknowledging the people who helped build the brand, the friendships that sustained her through decades of public scrutiny, and the resilience that kept her moving forward. But beneath the sentimentality was a strategic cadence, a deliberate pacing that suggested she was guiding the room toward a larger announcement. Despite the glamour and carefully curated elegance of the evening, subtle tensions drifted through the celebration like a quiet undercurrent no one could fully ignore. The Kardashian-Jenner family is no stranger to internal conflict, but Kris's 70th birthday seemed to amplify certain unspoken issues. Small, seemingly insignificant moments, lingering glances, clipped exchanges, and carefully maintained physical distance told a story that extended far beyond the cheerful smiles captured on social media. Khloe, normally the emotional glue of the family, appeared unusually guarded. Her smiles were genuine, but her expressions between conversations revealed a sense of emotional fatigue. Kourtney, still navigating her new chapter with growing family responsibilities and health shifts, attended with grace, yet maintained a noticeable separation from the more business-oriented conversations dominating the night. Even Kim, with her calm composure, occasionally drifted into moments of introspection, reminding observers that her own transitions had not been fully resolved. The finale of Kris Jenner's 70th birthday celebration was less about spectacle and more about symbolism. As the music softened and the final course was served, Kris gathered her children, grandchildren, and closest inner circle for one last moment together. She stood at the center of the room, surrounded by decades of accomplishments, love, and carefully forged alliances, radiating the unmistakable presence of someone fully aware of her influence. The lights dimmed, and a montage appeared. Old home videos, early moments from Keeping Up with the Kardashians, behind-the-scenes clips from their business ventures, and intimate family footage that had never been made public. The room quieted as years of memories unfolded in a seamless narrative that highlighted Kris not only as a manager, but as the anchor of one of the most influential families in entertainment. In that final moment, even with the unspoken tensions and quiet complexities lingering beneath the surface, the family's unity felt clear. The montage served as a reminder that their empire wasn't built solely on fame or strategy, but on a shared history that bound them together. It was a closing scene that crystallized Kris's legacy, while subtly signaling that the next phase of their journey was already underway. Kris Jenner's 70th birthday was more than a milestone. It was a reset point, a declaration that the family story is far from over. While the night revealed shifts in influence, quiet tensions, and evolving roles, it also showcased the strength of the empire she spent decades constructing. Her subtle business hints, the unique energy of each family member, and the presence of strategic guests made one message unmistakably clear: a new era is about to begin. Kris enters her 70s not as someone stepping back, but as someone recalibrating. With expanding businesses, evolving family dynamics, and emerging leaders within the next generation, the Kardashian-Jenner empire appears poised for transformation. This celebration marked the end of one chapter, the era defined by the original rise of the family, and the beginning of another shaped by global ambitions, personal reinvention, and a broader vision of influence. In the end, Kris's party wasn't just a reflection of where she has been. It was a blueprint for where she intends to go, and a quiet signal that the empire she built will continue adapting, expanding, and surprising the world for years to come.